What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it would appear that there continues to be more backlash, this time from several Netflix employees who feel like the woke type programming was, in their opinion, unfairly targeted, which to me kind of backs up what we suspected would be the case. When we saw the shows that were canceled earlier this week, they all tended to be kind of the woke variety, including shows called Anti-Racist Baby by a man who his entire career is race grifting, Ibram Kendi. And they also had the Ava DuVernay lady, who's also behind a lot of woke type programming. We also saw they canceled Meghan Markle's little woke cartoon. And we know why they canceled it. It's because nobody's actually paying for that stuff. Like, they talk about it on Twitter, okay? But that's not what people watch on Netflix. People watch, like, good entertainment. They don't want to watch stuff that scolds them or this kind of stuff. And it's failing for them. But one thing you can do, you might not actually know this, if you just a fun fact, if you are using like Hulu or Netflix or Disney Plus, there's actually a bunch of programming that you can't see, movies that are probably included in your subscription that you can't see because it thinks you're in the United States or you're in Europe. Well, you can actually use a VPN to get around that. And the one I use is private internet access. They have an 83% off discount in the pinned comment and description below. If you don't have a VPN yet, pick it up and just look, like movies like what is the movie Shaun of the Dead? Couldn't stream it here in the United States, but if I turn that on, suddenly I'm somewhere else and I can get access to it. There are literally thousands of programs and movies and things like that, as an addition, by the way, to securing your data and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you pick up private internet access today if you don't already have a VPN. Now, Netflix's woke purge. Troubled streaming giant's latest layoffs targeted 150 staff who were among its most vocal social justice warriors working on original content about marginalized communities. That's a pretty strong, comment or a pretty strong message that they're making, because, they're having a situation where they've canceled woke programming. They've fired kind of woke employees. They put out a statement last week that said something like, look, if you got a problem with our content, Netflix isn't the place for you. It's like they're getting sick of, and we knew this, like when you have 7,000 employees and 10 of them are causing problems for you, you just fire the 10. That's just the way it is in the real world. When those 10 are the ones making the headlines, when those 10 are the ones stealing company data, like they did, the one that got fired by Netflix, allegedly for stealing data on the Dave Chappelle stand-up and the releasing it to the public. All these news articles or news places were talking about how, oh yeah, this person was unfairly targeted because they were trans when they were speaking up. But no, they broke the law, probably, at least allegedly. And so that's why they got fired. So it's time for a lot of these companies to get back to doing what companies are supposed to be doing. And this might shock a lot of Silicon Valley workers, but it's to make money. Netflix's recent firing of 150 staff targeted many of them for the film's wokest workers who are prolific social justice warriors on social media. The struggling streaming service has pulled the plug on several projects that were aimed at discussing race and LGBTQ issues, Variety reported, and removed the most diverse removed the diverse employees working on and promoting them. In addition to the layoffs, the company also fired nearly 70 employees working for its social media and publishing teams focused on marginalized communities. They included Strong Black Lead, the American Asian focused Golden, the Latino focused Con Todo, and the LGBTQ focused Most. Netflix claimed its layoffs were all due to slowdown in revenue and decline in subscribers, but they represented just 150 of the firm's 11,000 staff. I thought it was 7,000. Sparking speculation that the purge of meddlesome woke staff was afoot. Among the newly fired was Olivia Wong and Lydia Wang, who slammed the streaming giant for axing them and their colleagues. Quote, I was also laid off by Netflix today, Wang tweeted. I really loved my job and my colleagues, and I'm a little heartbroken. Hey, look, by the way, in the overwhelming majority of cases, I don't celebrate people losing their jobs unless they're like in our government, like that lunatic in the Nina Jankowicz. I shed no tears for her termination. But when they're just like regular private citizens, getting fired sucks. Everyone's probably been fired. If you haven't been working long enough yet, and it's never any fun. Trufat Wong also wrote, okay, yes, I'm one of the Tadum layoffs, lol. I did a lot of work, and I'm proud of, met a lot of really awesome writers and editors, and made great friends. It's the cycle of media life. H. Drew Blackburn, another laid-off employee, recalled the turbulent saga where he did not know whether or not he even had a job. An editor at Netflix's Little Tadum project just called me offering me a job with Tadum again, Blackburn tweeted, after he was fired. Then called me back 20 minutes later to say they had the wrong Drew. Bright minds over there, for sure. So it's like, it doesn't seem like they were necessarily shutting things down so much as they were getting rid of annoyances. Netflix's move also drew backlash from media critics and other animators who slammed the streaming company for leaving its employees high and dry after previously preaching the need to have more diverse workforce. Turns out that pesky diversity of thought and diversity of talent is just slightly more important than having people who have different skin colors. I mean, just slightly. It turns out that having weird race quotas and things of that nature don't actually equate to having better programming or more customers or anything of that nature. Filmmaker Carly Ousden called Netflix a joke and tweeted, is Netflix only laying off the teams associated with making and promoting content for marginalized viewers? Yes. That's what it seems like. Carla Montesoro, who also works in the to secure economic opportunities for women of color, tweeted Netflix hired a powerhouse team of creators from a variety of marginalized communities, and they were performing exceptionally well. They don't know that. Had us all invested in their work. They were the first people they showed the door at the after financial difficulty. Matt Asuna, an animator from Bob's Burgers, also criticized Netflix for the layoffs while taking on other projects with wealthy backers. He tweeted, what a great day for Netflix to announce they're giving Ron Howard, a millionaire with no experience in animation, full control of an animated movie, while simultaneously snuffing out projects specifically focused on marginalized group. Funny timing, huh? Yeah, the team behind Bob's Burgers actually, it's a show that I really enjoy. But if you look into some of the stuff they did and what they did to the guy who was the voice of Jimmy Pesto, things of that nature, it's kind of a bummer. The firings came a week after Elon Musk claimed the firm's tanking share price was due to its content being infected by the woke mind virus. Netflix's show about a pregnant man he's expecting was cited as a prime example of content designed to appeal to a tiny minority that had sent viewers switching off in droves. Woke staff anger at Dave Chappelle's The Closer comedy special also illustrated the internal strife at the firm. A small but extremely vocal minority of Netflix staffers accused the streamer of harming trans people by letting Chappelle defend author J.K. Rowling unchecked. That's exactly what this is, by the way. It's Netflix saying like, nah. They have the data. They know that they have the data. They know that people aren't signing up for this content. They just know that. They know that, people like Dr. Ibram Kendi doesn't bring in content. You have other scrap projects included Anti-Racist Baby and Stamped Racism, Anti-Racism in You, two adaptations by critical race theory expert Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, as well as a kids' fantasy series, Wings of Fire, from executive producer Ava DuVernay, and a film with kind regards from kindergarten. The most notable of the scrap works was Anti-Racist Baby, based on Kendi's book of the same name, which had been envisioned as a series of animated vignettes set to music and intended to explore bad behavior in America. Yet nobody's signing up for Netflix for that. A lot of people tweet about it and they talk about how powerful it is. That's how clowns like this, it makes more money than all of us combined. This is a dude that makes 30, 40, $50,000 for like corporate speaking events to come and talk to white staffs and tell them how bad they are because they were white. I mean, this is absolutely the result of internal data, internal research, and Netflix finally knows what we've known all along, is that getting woke leads to going broke. You can't play around with all these people's money when you don't have a lockdown keeping everybody at home watching your stuff. You can't play around when you have inflation causing many people of your customers to be included, Americans also, to look at cutting back. You have rampant password sharing that isn't going to get better with your little ad-supported option, I guarantee it. And so they need to focus on what made them great in the first place. And, well, what made them great in the first place was having all your entertainment in like one place. You'd send the DVDs. Remember, you'd send the DVDs back and forth. You could see these Hollywood movies. You could get whatever movie you wanted. It was awesome. And then they lost all those movies. There are no big Hollywood movies on the platform anymore. So they had some good original programming, stuff like Squid Game or Stranger Things or Black Mirror or there's a lot of shows. What is it? Queen's Gambit. They're people. These are the things that people pay for, and they're clearly figuring it out on the fly now, and it's hilarious to watch for me. Make sure you check out the link in the description and pin comment down below. Pick up private internet access today. Unlock tons of movies and shows that you probably didn't know you were missing, and also protect your data. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.